What's up, all you out there in Living the Gimmick land?
What's happening, peeps?
How you doing?
You're joining us live for the first time ever in the history of this podcast.
Kind of cool. This is kind of cool. I can't actually see any of you because I've got like 5 programs up because that's what happens here. But
yeah,
Doug, I'm sure you're going to be monitoring the chat during this? Or no?
I'll try to be in YouTube. You got to be on the YouTube chat. So get to the YouTube chat because there's still wonky things happening with Wrestle Reaction. I can't get in there and put this on the site. So if you're in YouTube and you're doing a chat, that's cool. But what I will really be monitoring is Twitter. So if you're on Twitter, get on Twitter and tweet at us #LTG. And so the entire time I'll be refreshing #LTG. So if you're going to be watching this with us while we're recording this podcast, thank you for that, P.S. Just tweet at us and hashtag it with LTG, and we'll talk about what you want us to talk about. This is the first live interactive show with you guys tonight. We want to do something special since we were both going to be here at night. John was feeling a little bit under the weather this past 2 days.
Adam's apple, man.
Adam's apple was getting you, was choking you out, was putting you in a sleeper hole.
No kidding. So we haven't started taping yet. We're just saying hey to you guys. We will do our best, as he said, to monitor what is going on in our chat and with the Twitter. So send it at us, and we'll have some fun here. All right, guys. We'll have some fun. We appreciate. We love all you. We saw people were getting so excited about this when we said we were going to do this. So let's get this thing going here. So what's going to happen is I'm going to open up GarageBand, and you're going to hear the intro that you all love so much, and then I'm going to take it away from you.
Which is John's band, our old band, if you will.
Yeah, it's true. What episode is this, Doug?
24? Is it?
Oh, they probably know more than we do.
So hang on. Now I can tell you in a second. Just give me deuces.
Deuces. Okay.
Give me the deuces. And
how we doing out there, guys? Everyone having a good time?
Hey, I never second guess my first gut intuition. This is the 24th episode.
Oh, it says, Doug, our chat is disabled for this live stream.
Really?
Yeah. So we're telling people to chat when they can't.
Maybe. Okay. Well, then get on Twitter. I don't know why it's disabled. I didn't disable anything.
Sure you didn't.
I didn't touch it, son of a b.
Sure you didn't. Whatever. Let me see if I can change that real quick before we start recording this lovely live podcast that we have so many people already watching, which is really freaking cool.
Freaking A, dude.
Let's see here. Maybe
a hand to our listeners. A hand.
Maybe, and I'll tell you why. It's probably because Frank does not allow for a live YouTube chat.
True that.
Which is probs why.
Well, here's the thing. If we want to get into the band, so speak,
bro.
Listen. Jesus has already taken my word and working with it because he is tweeting us right now on the Twitter machine saying, yes, the LTG podcast is on. And John, hope that Adam's apple is better. Is #mail call live this week, or do you have them preset? #LTG. Jesus, we have made a list of all the questions we were asked this past week, which was a lot. And we'll be doing that off the list. Yes, off of our format list, which is going to be pretty cool to see. You guys get a look at how we do the show for you every week. And we won't be doing it live every week, but we might try to do this once a month. It's something where you can get a view into how we do our thing.
Maybe. Be kind of cool. Trying one last second here to open up a chat. I'm not sure if we can get this going or not, but
well, okay. So screw the YouTube chat room. Just go ahead and screw that. Get on Twitter, watch this show in one window on YouTube, get on Twitter in another window, and hey, tweet at us, #LTG with that sucking, just get it to us with #LTG. I'll be reading what you got. We'll throw some stuff in. We have some really good notes, some really good topics to talk about on the podcast. So again, for those that are just tuning in, which I know there are some that are just now joining us live, we haven't started the podcast yet. You will hear the intro, and then you'll hear us go into our process. This is just a little live thing for you guys to see what we do, how we do it. And we have a lot of fun. You're going to see us laugh. You're going to see us maybe get into a debate. Who knows? But it's going to be fun. So just hang out with us. We're going to get started soon. Give us a couple more minutes, and we'll actually have the podcast going. But thanks for joining us already. Yeah.
I think we're good. Let's get a little quick test here.
Let's
arm bar.
You hear that all right, Doug?
I heard arm bar. Yes.
Arm bar.
Give me one more second, because we've been working this entire time, and we're trying to get everything set up as far as our top 5 as well. We always do a top 5.
You want to tell them what the top 5 is today?
The top 5 for this week, and you'll hear us get into this and more, is our top 5 favorite Royal Rumbles. And we'll do something next week, like our top 5
Rumble moments, maybe?
Rumble moments, something like that, since we will have another show before the Rumble next Sunday, probably on Saturday.
And Wrestle Prediction, too.
And Wrestle Prediction, which is our live pay-per-view pre-show on WrestleReaction.net. So get ready for that, Wrestle Prediction. John's got a Rumble drinking game, which is something that we always did at Wrestling Rumors.
Once I'm off
that for us.
Once I'm off the antibiotics.
Right. You're off of that, so you'll be okay. Yeah.
Okay. You almost ready to go, Doug?
Now, okay. When we're talking about top 5, this is just for my own clarification, because I do have 3 of my 5 in, and I'm still trying to get the other 2. Okay. When you talk about Royal Rumbles, do you mean the whole pay-per-view event or the Rumble match itself?
The Rumble match.
That will help me out. Thank you.
Yes. Because I don't know about you, I've been binge watching some Rumble matches lately.
I just got started with that this week. I started with number 1. Always go in order. So
hey, tweet us. I'll tell you what. If you look at this, Neil Jones. By the way, at Jones Neil 52. It's 2 a.m. where he is to stay up for this live special. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's really cool. We're gonna get this podcast underway in about 2 minutes. All right. So I hope you and I hold one of these Rumbles at the same regard. Here.
I'm sure we probably have the same number 1.
I think we have the same number 1. And again, guys, this is legit here. This is a straight shoot. We don't.
I'm just now planning it. This is how it does. Like, we just made a rundown for the show, and I have my responsibility usually is always to pull out the mail call questions, and John gives us our top 5 topic, and then we have to literally go through and make out our lists. We don't talk about it beforehand. I'm literally plugging in my number 4 and my number 5 right now. He has no idea what I'm doing. And we're already telling each other we probably have the same number 1, because there is one Royal Rumble that is the best Royal Rumble of all time. That's common knowledge. The rest of the top 5 will be the interesting thing.
Hopefully we agree on that comment.
I'm sure we do.
Hopefully.
One more. Hang on.
Because I think we may disagree. I've got a feeling. I think it will both be our top 2 regardless. But hey, we got Chris Walder watching us. That's pretty cool. Walder, what's up?
Hey, Walder, what's happening, my friend?
All right. So we are going to get this live taping underway momentarily. You guys will see how the magic works. It's lots of fun. I don't get to come on camera very much anymore. I'm always working Monday nights.
Yeah.
This is nice. This is fun. Well, I'm actually on camera plenty. I'm actually on camera more than any of you guys. But
that's very true. You're on camera every day, son.
I am 3 times a day, every day. But
I'm not on camera ever.
Up, down, down t-shirt there you got.
All right, so keep it tight on the back, John.
Keep it tight?
Keep it tight.
Keep it tight. You good?
I'm waffling.
Waffling? Okay, you got the whole show to figure out.
You know I'm waffling. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and I'll explain my waffle.
Okay, no worries. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready. You have permission to do the Triple H. Are you ready right now? I know that's what you think. So, go ahead.
Are you ready? No, I said, are you ready?
All right, episode 24, correct?
Yes, 24.
Okay. Here we go. I will kick us off, okay?
Do it.
We are taping this, everyone, just so you can listen back to this, okay?
This is, yes. For people that are just now tuning in, before you hit record.
Good.
Before, this, hey, and no, just go ahead and record. I'll explain it whenever you bring us in. That's fine.
Okay. All right. Again, guys, tweet at us at the LTG podcast at Wrestle_React, and we'll get to your comments. Here we go. Intro, take it away.
The following podcast has been paid for by WrestleReaction.net.
Whenever ratings suck, there's only one guy you can turn to.
His name is John Cena.
There's a lot of innuendo in this.
Well, I was just gonna ask, was the conception with the face up or no?
Oh Lord.
You got a connection.
What do you think about What do you think you got by tonight? You get Vincent Kennedy McMahon and his. I can't believe this. I didn't realize you watched.
Shut up.
Yeah, no.
Living the Gimmick, episode 24, and for the first time ever, we are live, baby. But we're also live to tape, so like if you can't view us live, you get to listen to us too.
Yeah, that's the confusing part, I think. If so, this podcast that you're listening to on iTunes or Stitcher or Podbean.com, this isn't live to you.
No.
But John and I are live to viewers on YouTube right now on January 17th at 9:15 p.m.
Pretty
Eastern
cool.
time, which is cool.
As Eric Cartman would say, pretty cute.
It's pretty cute.
Pretty cute. Okay. Look, hey, thanks everyone. We got tons of people watching and listening. We appreciate it. You can tweet at us at Wrestle_React, at the LTG Podcast, at John Alba, at Doug O'Mac to send us your thoughts, your questions, your burning desires. We're all just a bunch of hunka burning love when all is said and done. We are going to talk some wrestling tonight because we are now legitimately a week from now, we will be underway with a match on the Royal Rumble pay-per-view card, which is very exciting. And
I'm very excited, for this event.
That kicks off the road to WrestleMania 32, even though there's no numbers anymore. And we have a ton to talk about regarding all of that. So let's get down to business. But first, I do have to say this. Congratulations to you, Doug. You moved into your new home this past weekend. Everything go all right there?
Yes, it did. As you see, this new backdrop behind me is nothing but a wall. But I have a nice little desk set up. I have my stuff here. My microphone is over here for anyone that's watching. Hey. So got new stuff. Got everything together. We should be good.
Good.
And internet seems to be running pretty fast. Again, this is a new place. My wife and I we just can't be happier than where we are right now. South Carolina is the place to be. I'm sorry.
Well, congratulations to you, and in your best wishes,
keep it tight.
Keep it tight.
Keep it tight. Keep it tight.
Booty. Anyway, let's get going here. Brock Lesnar returns on Monday Night Raw this past week. He cleans house after we got a 1 versus all match, which apparently means something. Roman Reigns essentially versus Kevin Owens with other people. Brock Lesnar comes in at the end, cleans house, and then does away with Roman Reigns, giving us a tease that we could potentially see a rematch of the WrestleMania 31 main event at some point, whether it be at WrestleMania this year or somewhere else down the line. A reminder of the Royal Rumble match, if you haven't heard, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship is on the line, and Roman Reigns will defend it, and Brock Lesnar is in this match. Doug, let's talk about Brock. What do you think?
You know, obviously, for the Raw ratings, having Brock come back on the episode that was against the National Championship game. Guys, I had the National Championship game, which was obviously Clemson versus Alabama. We know that Alabama won by 5 points. But I'm watching that, and I'm watching Raw on my iPad with no volume. Okay? Just to give my little 2 cents on that, I'm watching that with no volume, and the episode seemed decent. Like I was enjoying what I was seeing for the most part, without any kind of audio whatsoever. I thought it was brilliant on their part to keep Brock Lesnar, off TV, let Paul talk for him to the McMahons, including Vince, and not have him come out to the last segment. We knew that was going to happen. I called from the get-go if it was going to be 1 versus all, but y'all were telling me in the chat what they were saying, basically. 1 versus all means he's going to face a guy, and then the whole squad that's on the outside is going to jump in. Here comes Brock, who we have said since when? September, August, when people
I've been saying since August that I thought Brock would be the Rumble.
When people started asking us in August after SummerSlam, when people on this podcast who will be in the title match at WrestleMania? It's August, so I don't know. But we've said since then the best. We'll go ahead. In September we were like, we'll go ahead and we'll give our like early odd favorites for the Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. And the three guys that we really pushed was John Cena, Brock Lesnar, and Kevin Owens as a dark horse favorite.
Correct.
John Cena's out. So
and confirm such too.
Correct. And John Cena's out. So what do you got? Brock Lesnar's still there. So we knew we were going to get this kind of teasery towards Brock Lesnar having a return match against Roman Reigns. That's fine. I think that like this past Monday was a good time to do that. Of course, comes out, destroys everybody. I know some people were like, well, if Brock Lesnar and Kevin Owens have a match at WrestleMania, I mean, Frank was one of these people, was saying, I don't like the fact that they even touched each other or got involved. When in fact, that allows Kevin Owens to say, okay, now I got a beef.
Exactly. And that was exactly how I put it in our chat as well. And I think that's a way that you go about it. But we hear this week, according to our geeky friend, Mr. Meltzer.
These are a bunch of geeks.
Wish we had a soundbite for that.
I will make one, and we will get that on the sound on the sound clips. Yes.
Yeah. You can just like find. I mean, you could search every 3 minutes of the Wrestling Observer live, and you'll hear the word geeks.
Alvarez, and then there are all these bunch of geeks on the stage.
But anywho, the rumor is that there are no plans at all for Kevin Owens to be involved with Brock Lesnar or a major WrestleMania program in any way. Which is, look, I mean, whether you want to admit or not, it's certainly a high possibility.
Correct.
The thing that makes you think is that they also said that there was no plan B for The Undertaker after John Cena went down.
Yeah. Because
that was supposed to be a match. So Kevin Owens, that's up there. But Brock Lesnar's the big takeaway here, because I think, and we'll transition this into our point 1B, if you will, for this podcast, giving our Rumble thoughts a week out here. I still think it's safe to say a week out that your favorite is either Roman Reigns or Triple H to win the Royal Rumble right now. And right there is Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I would say, when we found out the title's on the line, first time in 24 years, we find out that the title's on the line in the Royal Rumble. As we talked about on the podcast last week, this changes everything. Where in August and September, we're saying John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Kevin Owens. It's now Brock Lesnar, Triple H, Roman Reigns.
Correct.
That's the three realistic options.
Right.
And there is more, like there's more. Sorry, that you heard that. I had to give a look. Door opened and closed. There is an option, a fourth option that now is being circulated around the interwebs, and we'll get to that later. We're going to talk about that in mail call. Or actually, we'll talk about it here in a second. It was a mail call question, but I want to transition it into part of the actual conversation. But realistically, Brock Lesnar, Triple H, and Roman Reigns are the three odds-on favorites. And that's because, Vince comes out and does a promo against Roman and says Triple H is going to get back at you when you least expect it. And so Triple H may not even be in the Royal Rumble match. He could be number 30 if he is. And, of course, he could cost Roman Reigns the title by throwing him out. We found out more rules this past week on Raw, and I went back and watched it with audio. We found out that Roman Reigns not only has to be eliminated, but there has to be someone standing in the ring to win that title. Like if everybody
will not be vacant.
Correct. If everybody goes out, though, if there's no one left in the ring, the title's vacant.
Ugh.
If everybody goes out, if everybody goes over, say Triple H comes in and screws Roman Reigns at the end, and they both go over.
Abeyance.
You got the title in abeyance again. WWE vacant is holding another championship. So there has to be a winner, or does there? Like that? Like in my mind, definitively, someone's going to have the title around their waist.
I agree as well. And
Sunday.
And we have heard that the main event that is penciled in for WrestleMania, main event here, is Triple H versus Roman Reigns. Which, if you're going to put Triple H in a main event ever again at WrestleMania, this is the year to do it.
This is the year to do it. And I said this last week, and I'm saying it again because I think, without Brock Lesnar 2 weeks ago on Raw, we saw the ratings decline again in the third hour with Vince as the referee in a title match on Raw. And I'll say this again. I fully believe this. And I believe that it's because this whole authority angle thing needs to end. I'm done with it. Like it's been done to death. Why do the main storylines in WWE have to revolve around someone facing the authority?
Yeah.
Because honestly, what it's doing is it's pigeonholing everyone else in the company to where they're going to focus on whoever that person is and maybe his one or two friends around him, whoever that person is against the authority. And it was fine when it started, and it got us really good matches at WrestleMania 30. And someone had to quit for that to happen in the first place because Sheamus was planned for Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30. We all know what happened. CM Punk left, and boom, we got amazing matches for WrestleMania 30. But I'm done with the authority angle. This needs to end after Triple H and Roman Reigns. It really needs to end so they can start focusing on Roman Reigns being a champion and everyone else coming after him and after that title. This is how you can build guys like Kevin Owens into a next top heel. This is how you can build Dolph Ziggler back into a credible superstar. These guys need to be hungry and need to be coming after the title because you're not going to have John Cena. You're not going to have Cesaro. You're not going to have Seth freaking Rollins back until June at the earliest.
Yeah.
Rusev's out for another 3 weeks. You got guys going out left and right with injuries.
Rusev will probably be back for the Rumble, but we said it at the Survivor Series. Oh, they're going to have to build someone, and they didn't. So this is the time for someone to grab that proverbial brass ring, if you will. I hate to use that, but it's true. This is the time for that to happen, and yes, there has to be some give and pull, and there has to be some let that says, okay, let's let this guy let's let him run with the ball here. And make something happen. And, I don't know. I still think I don't think Brock Lesnar's in the championship match. I still think the championship match is Triple H and Roman Reigns. I think it's extremely possible that Triple H is WWE World Heavyweight Champion heading into WrestleMania. And
all right, well,
I would get The Rock involved with this. He's not going to wrestle, it seems like, but I think you put The Rock in Triple H's corner, you put the McMahons in Triple H's corner, and you've got WrestleMania 2000 all over again. But that is what it is.
Benjamin Teacher says our audio connection, the audio keeps going in and out mid-sentence, which I'm not hearing that. Are you hearing that?
I'm not hearing that either. We're A-okay here on our little record here, which is the priority. So maybe it's a YouTube thing, or it might be on your end with your internet connection.
Well, let's look at this because this is an alternative to what you're saying, where you're saying Triple H is going to be champion and he's going to run to WrestleMania as champion, where Roman Reigns will get his return match against Triple H. This is where one of our listeners, James, had a theory. He posed it into the mail call section, but it's not a mail call segment. So let's bring it in here. Since we're a week out talking early Rumble thoughts. His idea, because when Meltzer came out and said this was the planned match, this was the planned match, this was the planned match, now they're thinking maybe Bray Wyatt against Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Maybe they're thinking, this, and this. This was his idea. And I just want to pose this to the listeners as, what do you think about this idea? You know what? And whenever you listen to this on iTunes, on Stitcher, on Podbean, whatever, whenever you listen to this, just tweet at us at the LTG Podcast. Use the hashtag LTG if you're watching this live, because we are running this show live tonight as well. Tweet at us right now. Let us know your thoughts on this. And then if you're listening later, come back in. Tweet at us. We'll always be around. LTG, hashtag LTG. James thinks, how about if Triple H was not in the Rumble, but he comes out and surprises Reigns, eliminating him, leaving Lesnar and Wyatt at least in the Royal Rumble? The Wyatt family gets involved and tosses out Lesnar, leaving Wyatt as the winner and the new champion.
That would be quite
after Wyatt has been saying at the Rumble, we take everything.
Look, you can go back and listen to the last 2 episodes of our podcast where I have stood behind this again. I am totally okay with Bray Wyatt winning the championship in the Royal Rumble match because I think it would be a great thing to add to his legacy, and I think it would very much fit in line with his character too. If you get the family involved in the way in which you mentioned. I've been calling for this for more than a month now. I want to see the Wyatt family booked extremely strongly in the Rumble where they are helping him accomplish what he wants to get done. And they did tease on Monday Night Raw, even though Vince McMahon just kind of just brushed it off. But they gave Bray a little spot there on Raw in the opening segment, which was very cool, I thought.
Very good. Like, I thought that was very good, very subtle, but very, It was very good teasery. Because they may be going this route. This is just a nice alternative. He says the Wyatt family helps eliminate Lesnar, which sets up Reigns versus Triple H without the title.
And I'd be okay with it. I'd very much be okay with it.
It gives Wyatt it gives Lesnar someone to work with, which is Wyatt and the entire Wyatt family. Wyatt is now the champion. And that leaves Taker and Owens open for a match. Which we're saying, Taker has no one right now. Owens has no one right now.
I'm not going to draw a complete correlation there.
No, I think he's just saying that leaves these pieces open for placement on the.
I'll tell you what.
Not a bad.
I'll tell you what. Fastlane, the rumor is it's going to be booked with a pretty significant main event, and that's not just going to be a B pay-per-view, and that there's going to be a major main event. If that's true. Let's say that the Wyatt family were to eliminate Lesnar with all this controversy, and let's say that Triple H eliminates Reigns in a controversial fashion as well. You have 2 guys right there who think they should be number 1 contender, no?
Yeah, absolutely you do.
There's your number 1 contender match at Fastlane for the championship. Triple H can screw Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar can go over at Fastlane, and then he could have his match with Wyatt, and you could have Reigns and Triple H at Mania if you want to. Just throwing out things here because we know Brock Lesnar's wrestling at Fastlane.
Correct. He has been booked. He's been advertised. We know Brock's wrestling at Fastlane. The only other piece of the puzzle that's still a mystery at this time, and this is the exciting part about WrestleMania season, is things always seem to go just go awry, and they have to rewrite. At least the last 5 years, they've had to rewrite what they want to do every single year. This year's no different. I love that Vince had the line on Raw where it was like, "Don't change my plans again, Paul," to Paul Heyman, which was phenomenal. I thought that was great, breaking the fourth wall. Really good heel stuff. Because smart fans will know they've had to change all these plans. I like that. My biggest thing the biggest missing piece of the puzzle right now is we have no idea if The Rock is going to just be appearing at WrestleMania or wrestling at WrestleMania.
I don't think he's wrestling.
I don't either, but we don't know that for sure right now.
Yeah.
So for me, if it's going to be The Rock at WrestleMania, he's going to be facing somebody like Triple H.
Yeah.
And so I still think if the significant main event at Fastlane isn't your number 1 contenders match like you're talking about, then it's got to be Roman Reigns versus Triple H, and then the family gets involved with the Authority, and Rock comes out to settle the score then.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Well,
but then where does Brock fit in? Yeah, it's a constant turn.
We just got a little question here relating to this from Josh, who's out in the UK watching this on his night shift. So thanks a bunch for that. But is Reigns versus Triple H really big enough to main event WrestleMania? There's a lot of moaning, he says, on forums, and I think the question that many are asking, obviously Triple H is big enough to main event anything, and I think the question is Roman Reigns ready to do that the 2nd year in a row? And has Triple H been, because he is a part-time guy now, is that big enough? I still think that match is big enough at WrestleMania, because the thing is, you're going to have other big main events to go with it. Right. So I don't think that is it an Austin versus Lesnar? No. Is it a John Cena versus The Undertaker? No. Which I really wanted to see this year, and I'm really upset that we're not going to see it. But still, I think it's big enough to headline when you have other great main events stacked up with it as well.
And you want to, we want to solidify Roman Reigns as the new top guy. Put him against Triple H. That match will be stellar.
And the match it'll be such an old school psychology match too.
Right. It'll be old school game. It won't be the Triple H Daniel Bryan match we got at WrestleMania.
Cerebral.
Yes. And that was, I mean, if we go back and look at 30, that was such a departure for Triple H. He actually wrestled.
Well, he said he was nervous about it.
Yeah, because he was doing like amateur wrestling moves inside of his actual arsenal. And he took a dragon suplex. When did you ever see Triple H take a dragon suplex before? Like, if you don't know how to take that fall right, you're dead. Like, it was very good. Very good. And it's a completely different match than we'll get with him versus Roman Reigns. But we're going to get good stuff.
Frank. Oh, bro, that match. That match. Oh.
Hey, very good match.
Mania opener ever outside of Best Mania
Frank, we love you.
Ever.
We love you, Frank Manzo.
We love our buddy Frank, who's going through some tough times right now. So our thoughts are with him. But
absolutely,
yeah. So let's move on in correlation with this, because you mentioned how you said, okay, someone's got to be stepping up to the plate here. All right, at this time, everyone's down. Someone's got to be stepping up.
Yeah.
One guy who did step up, and you can't deny it, stepped up tremendously, has put on great matches over the past 2 months, and is getting over with fans. Kalisto. We've heard for so long WWE has been looking for their Mexican superhero to follow up Rey Mysterio. They tried it with ADR as a face. Didn't really work.
Yikes.
Now they're trying to do it this way. Kalisto.
Went from C to lucha.
Kalisto gets a United States Championship match during the 10 o'clock segment on Raw. And as you appropriately mentioned, because we always talk about this, Kyoto was the ref. So once Kyoto was the ref, you knew that they were taking the title off Del Rio.
It was, I'm literally watching Raw on my iPad during the national championship game for the college title. And I'm sitting there watching on my iPad, and I see Del Rio come out to fanfare, and he cuts a promo. And I literally put him in the chat, John, what is he saying in the promo? And he was like, he called him a perro. He called him a dog. I said, he's losing the title. I said, he's losing the title. Go ahead and write it. Del Rio is about to lose the title to Kalisto. Kalisto comes out, big fanfare, nice reaction, but not a huge reaction. Nice reaction. Because I did go back and watch it. But he came out, and the whole thing, the fact that Kalisto had a backstage promo beforehand, and he couldn't contain his smile during it, I was like, this kid is winning the title tonight. I said it immediately in the chat. I said, this kid's winning the title. I don't care what anybody says.
Before you go any further with that, remember last week in my top 5 how I said that they should put the U.S. title on Kalisto like this week?
We did.
So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh my God, this is great. This is awesome. They're actually going to do it.
And boom, we get the match. Kyoto, I see Kyoto in the stripes, and I went, John, it's over. This is Kalisto's winning the daggum title. We called this on the podcast. Kalisto. Shocker. I love his reversal from Del Rio's stupid middle rope coup to waist.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Gets the roll up, gets the victory. Fans go nuts. Relatively iffy crowd the entire night. Goes crazy for it. And then what do we see an hour later? Or not even an hour. 30 minutes later, what do we get? Alberto Del Rio has enacted his rematch clause for SmackDown.
So you're like, oh, well, I thought this match was going to happen at the Rumble.
And immediately, as I saw from the backstage promo, from the immediate promo, I say, F, Kalisto's losing the U.S. title on SmackDown. What is going to be the point of that? I go out, I do my stuff on Tuesdays. I'm not even around the computer. I'm out doing things.
You come back to an IM from me.
And I come back from a message from John that says...
Verbatim, Christ, period. They took the title off Kalisto.
Oh my gosh! And we've got mail call questions about that segment. If I don't,
how it went down. This is exactly how it went down with us.
Like word for word, Christ.
They took the title.
They took the title off Kalisto. To which we both go, WWE logic.
But we didn't even get to this point of the story. The best part was we talked about how there was no League of Nations involvement in all. There was no mention of League of Nations at all on Raw. And you're like, you know what? They may have dissolved this. Like,
which is something that I said needed to happen.
Right. And you're like, man, this might have actually like worked, and like they're not doing this anymore, and like they learned, and then you're like, how do you win? I'm like, Barrett.
Barrett.
Like,
Barrett. Like,
so here's your takeaway. Here's your takeaway. And I went off on this with us because I was really fired up. They are more concerned with building the League of Nations up as a credible faction than they are about getting this guy over in the mid-card. And you know what? I can get that. But the problem is no one has been receptive to the League of Nations. No one. No one.
So you saying that, how can you get that? Like, because to me, it makes zero sense.
I'm saying in theory it makes sense. Okay, you want to build up a faction, but here's the thing: it doesn't make any sense because you barely paid any attention to them, and nobody cares about them.
Because the biggest question remains: where the hell were they on Monday Night Raw? Like, why did Del Rio why was he out there by himself? And why was Sheamus nowhere near? Why did he come out to his music and not the League of Nations music? Why was Barrett not involved then? Exactly. It makes zero sense that he would come to the ring by himself and face this guy by himself with no indication. Like, I mean, you're looking at a week before that, he comes out to wrestle John Cena with the entire League of Nations, and he is talking about, I don't need to fight you. I don't need to fight you.
Right.
And then with the League of Nations backing him up, and then he comes out the next week talking his whole bit, talking his big old smack talk. And then he loses the strap. And then the next night, with no Barrett anywhere to be seen, comes out the next night, drops the title, and Barrett is the one to blame. Are you freaking kidding me? You had this guy who now you may have killed momentum-wise forever.
Yeah, this was really bad.
Forever.
And I say it every week. I try to be the ever optimist. This was really bad. Really bad. And it tells me one of two things. It tells me they're more concerned about just getting the Lucha Dragons back together and just having them run with that, which it very well may be the case. Or B, they just don't see it in Kalisto, which is amazing because, I mean, this guy's connecting on all cylinders right now. He's putting on great matches. His finish is super over. He had one of the coolest spots in recent memory. I mean, this is your guy. He looks like Rey Mysterio. He acts like Rey Mysterio. He talks like Rey Mysterio. This is your guy.
No, but see, what this says to me is they don't believe he is the next Rey Mysterio.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying they might not, and that's pretty crazy to me. He is smaller than Rey, but
bottom line is they have not. It comes down to Vince, and Vince sees, and this is crazy because Vince is not a faction guy, but for some reason, underlying everything, he thinks this League of Nations thing is good.
Sheamus.
And we know that he gave them that name. I can't wrap my mind around it because this thing needs to end just as badly, if not more impactfully and instantly. This thing needs to end more so than the Authority.
And here's the thing. Now you can't just put the title back on Kalisto at the Royal Rumble.
And if they do put it right back on Kalisto,
no sense.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You're talking about a guy who you could have just pushed big time.
Yeah.
And gave big momentum to, because you could easily have done, you could have had Barrett screw the match up in a schmoz, and Del Rio doesn't get the match, doesn't get the title back, and then they have a rematch at Royal Rumble, and he loses there clean.
Or you could have just had the title change come at the Royal Rumble.
I agree completely, but why in the blue hell?
This was bad. This was really bad, and they killed a lot of momentum for a guy who was organically getting over, and people were really getting behind. And I hope
it is classic WWE logic because, and you and I have talked about this, people that genuinely start getting over organically, if they get themselves over by themselves, they usually get pushed to the back. It's weird. It's weird. The only group that has successfully done that is the New Day. In a very long time. They are the only group that's successfully done that. Daniel Bryan was on his way, and this injury has allowed them to say, nope, you're going back here. They had to run with CM Punk when CM Punk got himself over.
They did it with Cesaro.
They've squashed Cesaro. They squashed Dolph Ziggler.
They actually ran with the Usos.
But again, it's like they're more apt to do it with teams.
Yeah.
But when a solo guy starts getting over by himself, and he did it by himself, whether it's his work acumen or whatever, they push him back to the back. They don't push him forward like they should, which is old school wrestling mentality. When someone starts getting over, I mean, go look back. Maybe this is fresh on my memory because I just watched the Resurrection of Jake the Snake Roberts, which is phenomenal, by the way. If you haven't watched that, please watch it. But when Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, it took like, I don't remember how many months to build, 14 months, I think, to build towards, you had, or 14 weeks to build towards DDP accepting an NWO invitation. And that night when he puts the shirt on, he grabs Scott's hand after he shakes Scott's hands and gives him the diamond cutter, then dumps out.
And the crowd.
And it's the first time that he runs into the crowd.
Crowd is going.
He becomes the people's champion.
Berserk.
And it kicks off his career. They knew then that if they did that, it would put him over organically and the fans would buy into him being the people's champion and he would get a career out of that.
Yeah.
And WCW, because of who was running it at the time, said, hey, that's a good idea. Let's run with that. Nowadays, if you get over organically, if they didn't do it for you, it seems like there's an issue. Damian Sandow, same thing. Makes zero sense.
That's the saddest case.
We'll talk about that in mail call, but this cluster F.
It's bad. It's bad.
With the Kalisto situation.
I hope he can rebound from it. One more topic regarding the current product here. Intercontinental Championship feud between Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens. Again, once more, strongly booked this week. And we are getting a last man standing match at the Royal Rumble. So go figure, a 20-ish minute match, maybe even. That is right before the Royal Rumble match, with both of these guys will be in it. There was a logic hole thrown at us here, and it's a valid point. Why would any one of them want to go for the Intercontinental Championship and wear themselves out, potentially lose a 20-minute match, and then not have enough energy to compete in the Rumble?
You want to answer that?
And I know what your answer is going to be to that. I know what your answer is going to be at, because this is what they've done right with this feud.
Yeah.
And it's that they've made it that they care about the Intercontinental Championship.
Yep.
So that's why they're going to do it. But I will say, I understand the logical there, because in theory you should say, okay, I want the main championship. But I'm not going to complain here, because they've made us care about this mid-card title, and they're going to deliver a match that will end the feud and should be excellent.
I'm all for it. There's two things that I've been really, really impressed with outside of the handling of Roman Reigns on WWE TV for the last 4 to 5 weeks. That's Kevin Owens versus Dean Ambrose for the IC title. Thank God they got that. I love Dolph Ziggler. I love Neville, but they don't need to be in this feud. That feud for the IC title, Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. That feud that they've been doing it's been really good, in my opinion. Those are the two things outside of the handling of Roman Reigns that I thought the program has done well. And, oh my God, we're getting the fact, Michael Cole sat down with Kevin Owens, first Michael Cole interview of the year. It's Kevin Owens. And he asked him that exact question. Like, it's not like that's, I understand the logic in it, but he asked him, he said, Roman Reigns, we just found out Roman Reigns, his WWE World Heavyweight Championship is going to be on the line in the Royal Rumble. Aren't you interested in having a shot at that? Like, aren't you excited that you're going to be able to get a shot at that? He said, you know what? I don't care. Can we not talk about that right now? Because I want my belt back. And as soon as I heard him say that, I was like, dude, they're freaking caring about the IC title, and this makes sense to me. If he wins the World Heavyweight Championship, sweet. He can carry 2 belts. That's what he said. He said, that's fine. I'll be the first to hold both titles, because history didn't start until after I got here. So he's not, he's not talking, he said this many of times, every time he's faced Roman Reigns. But at the same time, it's pertinent and it's great, because it makes me feel like, dude, this IC title means something. Because we say it all the time, and it's classic wrestling knowledge. The belt doesn't make the man makes the belt. And so if Dean Ambrose wants to fight for and defend his title every day like he said he wants to, Kevin Owens wants that title back more than anything, and they both get a shot at the championship later on in the Rumble. To me, that means they both want that IC title. And if they get the other one, icing on the cake. But the cake itself, what they really want is that IC title. And to me, the way that they've mishandled the U.S. title after John Cena did such good stuff with it, we need one of these mid-card titles to mean something, because you've got 90,000 mid-carders on the roster. You've got a few jobbers, the geeks, if you will, and then you've got 2 at the top.
Yep.
Roman Reigns and Sheamus, and no one cares about Sheamus. So if we have 90,000 mid-carders on the roster, one of these titles should mean something. And I should feel like these guys want to go after one of these titles. So I'm all down. I'm all for it, man. I'm down.
I'm down too. Hey, before we get into this last topic, before the rumor control, I want to say this. Last week, I got a chance to interview Gangrel, the leader of the Vampire Warrior himself. And you should definitely check that out. Go over to foxbangor.com, FOXBANGOR.com. Go into the sports section and check out my interview with Gangrel. Really awesome dude, extremely appreciative of him giving me his time.
The Fangor in Bangor?
Yeah.
Fangor in Bangor.
He was awesome, and it's funny because we talked about on podcast last week, like people like one of our favorite things about Gangrel was that he would always strut along the ramp to his entrance music, which you and I both believe is one of the best entrance themes that ever composed. And he told me that one day he was asking Stone Cold what he thought of his theme and whether it was good or not. And all Austin said was, "Man, if you can walk to it, you're good."
Yeah.
And that when I heard that, I'm like, that's awesome, because that's exactly watch any Gangrel entrance, he's bobbing along to his theme song. And it's so cool. So cool. So really big thanks to Mr. Heath over there. Keep fanging and banging away. He's doing great right now. So
how many times on this show, on wrestling warm up or whatever we used to do on Wrestling Rumors, how many times have we said the music is such an integral part nowadays for a superstar? And you go back and you think about what Austin said, and you go back and you look at, like, Dusty Rhodes comes out strutting and dancing to the WWE theme that he had. Fantastic. Ric Flair, solemnly walks down with his robe, grandeur, if you will. Undertaker takes 4 minutes to get to the freaking ring from the ramp because he can stroll to that ominous music.
Triple H with the game.
Game, same thing. You got the music is such a look at Razor Ramon, who came out with such swag to that ripoff of Those Shoes by the Eagles.
Even Ambrose, who power walks.
Yeah.
Down the aisle.
Yeah. And
Perfect,
man, you got to think about that kind of stuff. It really does make a difference.
And if you need proof of that, go watch Breaking Ground and look at Aaliyah try to make her entrance.
Oh my God, Noof!
Who made her debut? Who made her debut on NXT? They let her do her. Whatever. Hey, let's talk our final topic here before the rumor control. Sting announced as the first name for the WWE Hall of Fame in 2016. That will go down in Dallas. The article they wrote seemingly means they insinuate that his career is done, as one would assume, even though some people still believe he's wrestling at WrestleMania this year.
Oh my God.
Get that out of your head right now. But the career of Sting is obviously, well regarded. His WWE run wasn't great. We got the story this week from Scott Hall, where Scott Hall said he knew very well going into that he wasn't going over. That it wasn't going to happen.
He couldn't believe it.
Yeah, Scott couldn't believe it.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Scott Hall was like, "Are you kidding me?" Yeah. It's his first and maybe even only WWE match, and y'all will not let him go over. This is classic Vince.
But that happened, and it's worth the read checking that out. But Sting, thoughts on this? Thoughts on? We've heard the Freebirds are probably going in.
Yeah.
My proposal yesterday was your two headliners are Sting as the living headliner, and then Owen Hart. Yeah. Which, if you watch the DVD, they certainly shower him with a lot of love, so it would make sense that he be the other headliner. And then the Freebirds are obviously a valuable selection as well. I hope we don't get as many names as we did last year.
Yeah, it was a little watered down. It was okay, but it was too many names. It was too many people. It was a little watered down. You needed some good good names up there. I mean, obviously, you know, there are rumors about The Rock going in this year, which is why he'll be at WrestleMania. I don't know if I buy that, even though he is a Hall of Famer and needs to go in. Could be, but why would they do it in Dallas? You know, a lot of times they try to do that. You know, at least some of them have, and I don't know why they would do Sting, because if they do The Rock, Sting is not the headliner,
right?
But as far as Sting going in, I do have to say this because I've seen people online bitching that Sting's going in the WWE Hall of Fame, and he only had 2 matches in WWE, and he lost both.
He had 3 matches in WWE.
Right.
However, and he won that one.
He did win one. Okay. But they're wrong in that. You know that. But that's what I'm seeing. The literal tweets that I've seen it from 3 different people. And all 3 of them are, he's had 2 matches in WWE. Why is he going to WWE Hall of Fame? Because he's a Hall of Famer.
Right. And here's the way I look at it more than anything else, and this is literally all you need to say. WWE owns the rights to WCW. They own everything that WCW did. So his accolades that he did there, he in effect did for them as well.
For the love of God.
There you go.
Every video package they've done, like when the World Heavyweight Championship was apart from the WWE Championship, Sting was a part of their video packages after they acquired the rights. While he was in TNA, anytime they showed the history of the World Championship, they would show Sting. Same thing with the U.S. title. Boom, there's Sting. There's yellow-haired Sting. So if WWE is putting Sting on air in a video package when he's not even part of the freaking company, he's in the opposing company, why would he not be going in the Hall of Fame? Triple H said really good things about it. I agree. He is a Hall of Famer. The rest of the class, I mean, Freebirds need to go in Dallas. They need to go in Dallas. And, of course, you know, Owen Hart is a no-brainer. If you want to throw they've gotten really clicky. Done a lot of stuff with the click. Maybe it's time for Pac. I don't know. Cue up that cowbell, Kevin Owens, man. I'm done. I'm done with this Hall of Fame speak.
Ask and you shall receive. It is time for the Rumor Control. We cue up the cowbell, Kevin Owens, and let's get down to it. Doug, our rumor this week, and it's a good one, and it seems logical if you start putting the pieces together. We've been getting all these teases for the Balor Club and Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson coming into WWE NXT. The rumor now has it that they will be debuting in NXT around March. And then they will be forming the Balor Club from there on out. Now, the long-standing rumor has been that we are going to be seeing Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor, who are 2 faces for the NXT Championship on the NXT TakeOver special right before WrestleMania. And there is a live event in Toronto that is going to be broadcast on the WWE Network for the main roster, but we have seen some NXT bouts on that as well. And Finn Balor worked as a heel during one of the live events this week against Sami Zayn. So, Doug, are you buying that this is the way the Balor Club forms and that they screw Sami Zayn during this live takeover before WrestleMania? They are in by March. Finn Balor turns heel after getting some persuasion from them, and Finn Balor will go as the heel. Are you buying it?
Bang, bang. The funny thing is, I think somebody, I don't know who it was, somebody said this on this podcast last week.
Yeah, I think 2 people said it on this podcast.
Somebody started this off as, oh, this has got to lead to Finn Balor going heel. Because he's a daggum good heel, and we haven't seen him as a heel yet. Someone said it would be cool if he worked as a heel against Samoa Joe back in Brooklyn. But I digress. Balor as a heel with the Balor Club, if that's what they want to call it, since obviously they can't get the rights to Bullet Club. They tried. Not going to work. They just refiled a claim for the trademark of Balor Club where they can use it on more than just merch. I'm all about it. I buy it. I'm not selling it. I buy this rumor. I believe this is what they're going to do. Freaking Finn Balor's been trolling and trolling and teasing their arrival. Why would it not make sense? You got two faces going off against each other in this huge match. And then bang, bang. Here comes the Balor Club. My only thing about this rumor that I'm going to shut down is that AJ Styles is going to be a part of it.
Yeah, I don't think he will.
I say this right now. AJ Styles will not be part of that Balor Club. He won't.
I agree with you.
If he shows up that night and they beat the crap out of him because Finn Balor is the actual leader of the Balor Club, so be it. But I don't even see that happening. My thoughts on AJ Styles will come out of this mouth in a moment. But I'm buying this rumor. Gallows, Anderson are definitely going to be part of a Balor Club that makes its formation during a match between Finn Balor and Sami Zayn.
Look, Balor's been faced long enough. Now you got a chance to try something new with it.
Yep.
We heard during the live reports that he had Zayn in an abdominal stretch and that he did the 2 bullets to the head, or the gun to the head, rather.
Oh, yeah.
They had him in the stretch, which is awesome. But
that's an excellent trolleration from him, by the way. To know I'm at a live event and this is going to like people are either going to videotape this and it's going to go viral, or it's just at least going to spark internet fans into a frenzy. So I'm just going to awesome. A great Finn Balor is one of the best at trolling fans. I love it.
Yeah. It was funny. They had a heat issue at the NXT live event in Chicago for the first show at the venue, and people were stuck outside. So they sent Balor outside to talk to people. And he's like, listen, I'm sorry. We're going to get the heat up real quick. It's going to go on. The show will go on, yada, yada. And a fan just goes, can I go in to use the bathroom? And he goes, well, we've only got one toilet back there, and Enzo already got to it. So he knows how to have a good time. He does the trolly things like he said, and it was funny. So that is the Rumor Control. If you want to give us your thoughts on the Rumor Control or any of these rumors going around, suggest a rumor. Tweet at us at the LTG Podcast, at Wrestle_React, at John Alba, at Doug O'Mac. And don't forget, we read all this stuff. So, correct grammar can go a long way, too.
We are. You got to understand, John and I are both from journalism backgrounds, okay? I graduated from Clemson in 2007 with a journalism degree. John graduated, last year?
John is a journalist.
You're a journalist now. I'm just saying you graduated with a journalism degree.
Journalism degree last year.
Correct. We both appreciate I'm just going to say this. There's a website we used to run.
I don't know what that is.
And if you notice the grammar being different now, the spelling being different now.
They don't write good.
The formation of phrasing sentences, paragraphs now. There's a difference. Please speak to us in English. And if you can't speak English, if you speak any other language, use the best English you've got, my friend. The internet, the Google magic is something crazy. Just translate that sucker, son. Get it to us.
That's impossible.
Hey, it is what it is. And you know what? You know who uses excellent grammar, John?
Bram. He just resigned.
Holy crap! Did you see that? Did you see that on Twitter?
Bram, I saw it. I'm monitoring TweetDeck while we're doing this, and it says that he has sealed the deal, that he has returned, and apparently they're on Pop TV now. I don't know if you saw that.
What is
that?
On
Pop TV now. It used to be the TV Guide channel. They're on Pop TV now, and Bram, 2006 is his big year.
2006, correct. Big year for Bram. Do you know who else had a big year in 2006?
AJ Styles.
Master Shake. Master Shake had a big year in 2006, and you know what? We have Master Shake on our show right now.
Let me dial him up. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, cue him up.
He lives in Jersey.
He does live in Jersey.
Got him on speed dial.
Oh, widdly wah.
Got him. Here we go.
Hey, Master Shake, thank you for leading us into our next segment, which of course is Mail Call. We've got, this is the fans' favorite segment because they actually get to ask questions that we answer. Okay. If you have not done that for us yet, even though we have 1,000 questions, yes, I am the proprietor of I am the master of hyperbole. We have 1,000 questions to answer today from Mail Call. If you're watching this live, because we are airing the show live right now, and you did not get us a question for Mail Call, if you tweet at us right now at the LTG podcast with the hashtag Mail Call, I will try to get your question in. I'm not promising it, but ask a freaking question.
You sound like Big E there.
Booty! All right, first question comes from Matt, and he asks, are we ever going to see Damien Sandow again? Who did he piss off? Now,
well,
to answer the first part of this question, we saw him Thursday night on SmackDown for the first time
you might have missed that.
in forever. He was on the stage at the beginning.
I was going to say, he was on the stage wearing his robe.
In his robe, he was on stage, not doing the sizzle gimmick that he does on Up, Up, Down, Down. He's in his robe. And I said, oh my God, there's Damien Sandow. On SmackDown Thursday night, he's part of the Ryhack version of the Jobbers versus the Heath Slater version of Jobbers. Geek Squad 3.0.
We have 2 T-shirts already.
Right? The most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Damien Sandow, that's the biggest waste of affection I've ever seen. To answer your first part of your question, we saw him. We saw him Thursday night. Who did he piss off? I have no idea. But the guy is not doing anything productive, and he got over organically, and they don't like that, so they pushed him down back into the Job Squad. I don't know why. I can't answer that question. The first part I can answer. He was on SmackDown.
Why not do what you did with Ryder and just throw him back down in NXT? Find something, have him put on some good matches, and then try to roll with it again.
I can't wrap my mind around it. He's so good as a wrestler, and then he is so good at captivating the audience. I don't know. The guy is a chameleon. He can do anything. I don't know. I want Damien Sandow to be something big. It just won't ever happen. If they do
something consistent, I'll take that.
Listen, if they future endeavor anyone this year, it's likely the 8 guys outside of Ryhack that were in that match.
And Heath Slater, who seemingly survives everything.
No, I think they even cut Heath Slater at the end of this thing.
This is it? You think this is it?
I know that they have the Usos and the New Day vouching for them because they're all best friends. But holy crap. Is this the biggest waste of talent on the planet? These are Job Squad guys. How Goldust got lopped into this? I don't know. I can't answer that question. I'm sorry, Matt. I don't know who he pissed off, but he definitely pissed off someone.
Better than what Cody's got going on right now, but
mighty Ziggy Stardust this past week. He came out in a tribute to David Bowie, who had just died, and they still had him lose. In a sloppy, stupid, slow match. Way.
3 shows in a row.
3
Raw,
shows in a row.
Raw. The same exact thing.
It's beyond me what they do with some of these guys. It's beyond me. I don't know. Chris and Ed both asked, where do we think WWE is going with this Kalisto Del Rio flip-flop title thing? Do we think it's a bad thing for Kalisto? Ed even said, why did this match on SmackDown want to make me beat my head against a wall? Why? Because it was stupid. That's why.
Tell me how you really feel.
It was stupid.
It was bad. We already talked about what we think it does for Kalisto.
Yeah, it kills his momentum.
Yeah, I mean, he's back to being a Lucha Dragon. Okay.
Whatever. Khalil asks, do you think WrestleMania 32 will still sell out given the injuries
Yes.
that are going on? And that's he's got a lot of little questions in this one big WrestleMania 32 question. Will it sell out even given the injuries? John answered it to a T. Yeah. Yes. WrestleMania always sells 85% of its tickets, sometimes even 93% 50% of their tickets before the card's even announced.
Before the card's even determined half the time.
Right, yeah, before they even written the freaking card up. That's going to be sold out. That's fine. After that, if Sheamus is the top heel in the company right now,
Sheamus,
and we're saying that he is, who does he face at WrestleMania 32?
Daniel Bryan. And like I said last week,
John.
Like I said last week, Daniel Bryan would totally be okay with it this year. He would totally be okay with it.
Hey, we're going to hold off bringing Daniel Bryan back, Trips. Just listen.
Daniel Bryan is sitting in Vince's office. Can I fight Sheamus this year?
Listen, we're going to hold that little pipsqueak off. I know he's cleared. It's fine. Whatever. I've got a plan. You know how CM Punk just effed us 2 years ago with Daniel Bryan when I wanted to do Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan? Listen to this.
Pal.
I'm going to bring Daniel Bryan back into the fold. No, listen, Trips. I'm going to bring him back right for WrestleMania 32, and he's going to face, guess, Sheamus. And then R-Truth comes wheeling in on a chair. And he and Vince have a freaking laugh-a-thon because Vince thinks it's hilarious to have Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan. I don't know who Sheamus faces at WrestleMania 32 if it's not Daniel Bryan. I don't give a crap because I don't care.
Show.
The Big Show. Let's throw Big Show in there. That's totally fine. The next part of his question is, what has happened to Kane?
Oh, it's
where's Kane?
Kane's in India right now.
I know, but why? Like, where is Kane on TV? He wins a huge match with his brother and then disappears into the darkness.
They finally had something going with the Seth Rollins stuff with him. They finally had something to go and interesting with the Undertaker stuff, and he's gone.
I don't know where Kane is. He's in hell or India, whatever you want to say he is. I don't know. Damon Kane. The only benefit was when Kane was on TV, a month and a half ago after all this, he just randomly popped up on TV again out of nowhere. He was not Demon Kane. He was just Kane. For the love of God, if he has to keep leaving and come back just so he can be called Kane again, I'm fine with it. And then the rest of Khalil's question is, why is Jericho feuding with the New Day?
I mean, it's just temporary. That's not... I think it is interesting and worth asking, what the hell is Jericho doing at WrestleMania? And
he apparently signed to be full-time for 6 months.
Yeah, or at least through May.
Right. At least through the May pay-per-view, which is what? Payback?
Payback. So, I'm telling you, I still stand with it. I would love to see him go heel, and him and Ambrose maybe do a program. I proposed last week Reigns and Jericho, but maybe he and Ambrose do a program, which would be good because they set the seeds for that.
Yeah,
which they forgot about.
Right.
They set the seeds for it though, so would be interesting.
Yeah. Because that's why he's feuding with the New Day. Because Jack had an interesting question. Okay, if you don't have the WWE Network, there's a show on the WWE Network called Table for Three.
Yeah,
where three superstars get together and they just talk about the business, talk about their runs, blah, 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 blah. Jack asks, who would be in your dream table for three? John Alba.
Who did I tell you in the chat? I'm trying to remember who I said to you. I think Maurice, Paige, and Candice Michelle, right? Something like that? No. My dream table of three. If they could get Taker to talk. Because he doesn't like talking. But they
they've been promoting him on the Austin podcast for 7 months, John.
Yeah. Taker, The Rock, and Kurt Angle. How about that? How about that for table three?
Well, that'd be interesting. So you want some of the old SmackDown guys?
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about that.
I want Taker, Brock, and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
I want to hear those three talk about the business and talk about
a lot of conversations about hunting and motorcycles, but that's that.
Well, okay. If it's not those three, Taker, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H.
Yeah.
I want to hear those three guys talk about the business.
Yeah.
I want to hear, because you hear tons of Triple H and Shawn Michaels talking about it and how much they love, Taker and all this kind of stuff. They go back and talk about the Hell in a Cell and everything, and Trips has stuff, memorabilia from the match up in a frame on his office wall, and he did that for each guy. That's cool. Tell me more about that. I want to know more about that. Jason asks, why do you guys say Wyatt? This is from a couple podcasts ago. Why do you guys say that Wyatt will certainly lose to Lesnar at Mania if they face off? But if it were Kevin Owens, Owens would have to win.
I've been thinking about this too. You could do the dirty finish, obviously, with the Wyatt family helping Wyatt win, but he's not going to get a clean win over Brock. It's just not going to happen. I don't think you're going to see anyone, unless they're saving for a huge, huge, huge moment, get a clean win over Brock anytime soon.
I think my whole thought process about that was WWE has given me nothing to say I have faith in Bray Wyatt winning that match.
Yeah.
However, Kevin Owens, this is his first WrestleMania. And if they could very well do the same thing that they did with Bray Wyatt and have him lose his first WrestleMania match, but this is different. Kevin Owens should be the guy that they're building up to be the next top heel in the company. And if they have him lose to Brock Lesnar, who's the guy that beat The Undertaker, does Brock have WrestleMania wins locked into his freaking contract? It can't be, because he lost this past WrestleMania.
He doesn't care if he wins.
So he does it. He said on the podcast, I don't care. It's a clock in, clock out thing. I don't care. I could not care less about how I'm booked. I just come in and get a check. So if that's the case, build a guy that is new around a loss to Brock Lesnar. That's why. That's why. Okay, they've had Wyatt lose twice at WrestleMania already. That's why. Carl asked, if you had to bet, if you had to put money on this, would you say Daniel Bryan will be back in the WWE ring this year?
No.
Hells to the no.
I think he's done with WWE in an in-ring form. I really do.
There's a rumor going around about that, and we'll find out Monday or not if that rumor is true. There's a rumor going around saying Daniel Bryan has already gotten his release from the WWE, and they're not going to announce it until Monday. So we've got how many hours? An hour and 45 if they do it at midnight.
And plus they've been plugging him on the website all week.
Right. He's in India right now promoting for WWE.
They're doing underdog articles with him right now. So I don't think he will be back unless they desperately need him. And I'm telling you, we have seen multiple times this year already where they desperately needed him, and he has not been back. Yeah.
I don't think that looks good for him. And we've got two more questions. Acer, who's always been a big fan, and he just asked a question. I've got to throw that in there. Will Becky Lynch have a run with the WWE Divas Championship? Because I think she deserves to have a run. Absolutely she will.
Yeah, they might be setting it up sooner rather than later too.
Absolutely, Becky Lynch wins the title. Sometime this year even. Absolutely. And Golly asks, who enters the Royal Rumble first? John, who's your thought?
Do you want a really bold prediction? I mean, look, all logic tells us Roman Reigns will find out this week that he's going to be entering number one in the Royal Rumble. All logic, booking logic, the authority against him. That's how you do it.
One versus all means he is number one, in my opinion.
Yeah.
We've said this we questioned it last week. Shouldn't he be number one if he's defending the title in the Royal Rumble?
Yep.
If not, then they should have stripped the title and said the title will be on, the vacant title will be the winning prize of the Royal Rumble. He's defending it, meaning he should go in number one. The rest of his question is, which surprise entrant do you guys want to see get in the Rumble on Sunday?
I think we both want to see it. It's AJ Styles, man.
AJ freaking Styles, dude.
Yeah.
And he cut a promo at an indie event this weekend, and the crowd went nuts for him after he thanked them for everything. And he said, the crowd was saying, he was like, I don't know what's next for me. And the whole crowd started chanting Royal Rumble. And his words after that, where he said, I'll tell you what, if I enter that Royal Rumble, I'm kicking ass in that Royal Rumble. And that got me jacked up as a fan. That's the kind of stuff that gets me jacked up as a fan. Acknowledge that there's a chance you might be in that thing, because I know personally from a guy who works in the freaking company that from day one when they decided they were going to sign him, he was supposed to be backstage at the Royal Rumble in full gear, ready to go out as a surprise entrant. Whether those plans have changed yet or not, I don't know.
I think it's kind of cool that now that it's out there, people are going to be anticipating it. And as long as it does happen, it's going to be an enormous moment.
Stoked. We need big moments like that in a Rumble. And this is going to be one of the biggest, most exciting Rumbles in forever, Jerry. In forever. So I'm stoked for it. I want to see the Styles. John wants to see Styles. That's mail call. If you have questions for us, we'll be doing another show at the end of the week for specifically Royal Rumble. We're going to give you predictions and all that kind of stuff. We'll build up towards Wrestle Prediction, which will be on WrestleReaction.net next Sunday night at 6 p.m., an hour before the WWE kickoff show. Don't miss that. We'll be doing that. We'll be setting that up. We'll be giving you our thoughts and everything on the Royal Rumble. Even more so, send us questions regarding the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I want to say this too, right before we get into our top 5. Did get some questions about the whole Hulk Hogan thing this week.
Oh, God.
Brian Alvarez stated a rumor that there has been talk in WWE about potentially making a push to bring back Hulk by WrestleMania. And
meaning that's Triple H pushing.
Nothing credible since has come out. But people are obviously assuming, okay, Hulk Hogan's coming back for WrestleMania because that's how people jump to conclusions.
Because that's dirt sheets, ladies and gentlemen.
And Hulk actually today on Twitter said, I haven't heard from them. I haven't talked to them since they fired me because, Hulk Hogan is great at social media.
Hulk Hogan stays winning like Charlie Sheen when it comes to social media. He has the equivalent of the disease Charlie Sheen has when it comes to social media.
Damn, that's
slaying them kids tonight, kid. You don't even know.
Whoa! I don't know, man. That's
it is what it is. Send us questions at the LTG podcast, at the LTG podcast, at Wrestle_React, at John Alba, at Doug O'Mac, anywhere you can find us on Facebook. Blah, blah, blah. Send us questions, mail call, hashtag it so that we can get to it quicker. And I got to pull these things out and talk to you guys about it. Blah, 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 blah. Mail call. Send us questions. We love that segment because it's what we do this for. You guys talk to us. You watch us. You listen to us. We appreciate it. So do that and get ready for our top 5 Rumble matches of all time.
Whoa!
Top 5.
The top 5 is brought to you by Squared Circle Entertainment, Facebook's go-to destination for all wrestling and sports entertainment related talk. Just search Squared Circle Entertainment on Facebook and request your membership today. As Doug said, we are talking the top 5 Royal Rumble matches of all time, our favorites. Let's get to it. Your number 5, Doug-O.
Number 5 is one that I had to waffle between. And I talked about this at the start of the show, or before we even went live. We were talking to our fans that were already watching us live, and we were getting ready to do this thing. For the listeners that maybe, if you haven't listened to the podcast all the way through right now and you haven't already heard me say that this is obviously not live for you listening to this on iTunes or Stitcher or Podbean, but it's live right now on Sunday night. I don't know what you're listening to, but listen more intently. This was live. That's live right now. Before we started recording the podcast, I said, as we were setting up our top 5, because John and I don't do that beforehand, and we don't do it where we know what we're going to say. I was waffling between what my number 5 was going to be. I wanted to put one of the Austin wins from the 90s in on this list, but I cannot do it.
I wanted to as well.
I can't do it.
And I'll tell you what I came up with afterward.
Yeah, well, I waffled because 97, he obviously didn't win. I hate it. I hate that. I hate it. It's a good Rumble match outside of everything else, outside of everything that happened. I don't like the finish, so I can't do that one. And 98 was one of the worst Royal Rumbles of all time, as far as who's in the match, what happens in the match.
I so strongly disagree with you.
I can't do the fact that fake Razor and fake Diesel. No, that's 97. I'm getting confused.
Yeah, they're not in.
That's 97. Excuse me. Let me readjust here. I was thinking 97 as I was going through that.
Okay.
97 is not the one I like. 98 is the one that I like.
Yeah.
97 had fake Razor and fake Diesel, and just atrocious. And I hate the finish of that one because Austin did not win. 98, a little bit better. Foley comes in 3 times. A lot of people hate that. I actually liked that.
What's your number 5? What's your number 5?
I had to go around and come back to Royal Rumble 2002.
Okay.
Triple H comes back after this huge injury and wins the Royal Rumble for the first time.
Very good. I like that one. That's just outside my list. Don't forget, you can't forget Maven in that, man. Eliminating the Undertaker.
It was a huge moment for him. And then he did nothing after that.
And Mr. Perfect coming back.
Big.
In that Rumble as well.
Yeah.
A big pop there. And they did recreate the Maven spot the very next year.
Yes, they did.
Except he didn't eliminate the Undertaker.
That was his. Okay, we're gonna give this kid that just came off with Tough Enough a little push, see what happens. And the next year was, we're killing your WWE career right now.
Yep. But still, not bad. That would be right on the outside for me. My number 5 is 2008. 2008 was the Madison Square Garden show. It was a very old school show where they didn't have the big Titantron set up, and a huge crowd, really good roster, and you had the really cool moment with Snuka and Piper, going off, and the whole ring just kind of cleared for them,
which was very cool to see.
Yeah, and then obviously, I mean, the huge moment at the end, like it or not, John Cena legitimately shocks the entire world. It's one of the best kept secrets they've ever had.
Yeah.
No one knew John Cena was coming back that night.
It would have been my number 6. Absolutely. It was on the cusp for me as well. I do like that Rumble.
And my God, Jim Ross puts that over like there's no tomorrow, that John Cena coming back is the biggest moment that has happened in recent memory.
First Rumble win for Cena?
Really good. Really good. My number 4 is what could have been John Cena's first Royal Rumble win, 2005.
Yeah.
And I've watched this Rumble a couple times in the last month, and we actually talked about it in our chat too.
Yeah.
This Rumble, lots of good star power. It beautifully laid the foundations for the top 2 stars that they were going to build.
Yeah.
Vince tore his quads. They had the Chop Fest that started with Daniel Puder. And then Benoit and Guerrero are going on a chop spree with Daniel Puder. And it was pretty good. And there are so many chops in this match. You can watch it back.
It's literally a chop fest.
They did a really nice job building the story around Raw versus SmackDown with Teddy Long and Bischoff.
Yeah.
And it's a really good Rumble. The finish, obviously, a lot of people, there's still people who think it was a shoot. I think it's a little too choreographed.
Yeah, it's obviously choreographed. They just it's the mismanagement of size was an issue as far as height goes for that. It really was. I believe that was the issue. I think that we'd seen that twice before with the Rock and Big Show, and then we've seen that with Bret Hart and Lex Luger. It's obviously something that was supposed to happen, except for it wasn't supposed to happen. Or was it? Vince obviously
there's his quads.
Which is one of the best moments of all time. To watch him literally cussing up a storm walking to the ring, and then when he gets down, you just see it when he hits the mat, and you're just like, something's not right. Something's not right. And Vince is really, really mad.
In an insane amount of pain, but he doesn't show it.
No.
When he's talking. Doesn't show it. I mean, both of his quadriceps are torn. And he doesn't show it at all.
Impressive. My number 4 is Royal Rumble 2010.
This one almost made my list as well. This was a great one with a great surprise, too.
Very, 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 very good. Really, really good stuff on this one. The Jericho stuff in this one is so good.
Mm-hmm.
I was loving all of that, and then boom, when Edge's music hit, I literally stood up. And if you could get me to stand up during a Royal Rumble match and go, yes, this is awesome, then you're probably going to be on my top 5 list at this point, because that's good stuff. That's really good. It's like the John Cena thing from 2008. It's surprising. It's really good. It gets your energy level up, near the end of the match. The way that they handled that was fantastic. Edge got the win, obviously. Good stuff. Loved 2010. When a lot of people didn't really care for it. I'm just like, I don't understand why you don't care for that match. I thought it was a really good one.
Everything post WrestleMania that year is atrocious.
Oh, well, 2010 is awful, but A lot of stuff from 2008 on is bad, outside of single things you can pick out. But I like the 2010 Rumble. My number 3, Jonathan, is Royal Rumble 2007.
Okay. Yeah, good Rumble.
It's a good Rumble. It's not the best of Rumbles, but then my boy hits the Rumble at number 30.
It's your boy's big moment.
And he wins his first Royal Rumble. I had to have it on the list.
In a great little showdown with HBK.
Fantastic.
By the way, I didn't even mention oh no, that's different year. Ignore me.
I liked 7. My boy got his first Royal Rumble win and his only, and he did it in Supreme style at number 30, which was amazing. Number 3.
Yeah, it was good. My number 3 is the 98 Royal Rumble.
Okay.
I love the Royal Rumble. And this was the first Rumble match I got to see as a kid. So I'm 5 years old here, okay? This is the first one I get to see. Brilliant with the 3 faces of Foley. Brilliant.
I mean, and you're one of the only other people that I've heard that really like it.
I think that it was like... I think it was so excellent with the 3 faces of Foley, just because it was so Mick. And it was them tying everything together. You know, was Chainsaw Charlie kind of dumb? Yeah. But, but they did a really funny spot in that where Mick Foley, where Chainsaw
Terry
Funk is cracking Mick Foley with the chair. And then you think he's about to do it again, but then he tosses the chair to Mick and just stands there. Yeah. And it's like, come on, do it.
Like, come on. And you get that hardcore showdown that you got so many times in that midnight.
Terry Funk might have had 3 concussions in that match alone. And he lasts pretty far. He goes to like 15 or 16 in that match.
And then Mankind comes out.
And then, the big thing that I really love the 98 Rumble for, there's a ton of characters who you don't care about at all, obviously. But the thing that I do love about it is that it's our first true taste of The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah. Best part of the Rumble.
And because The Rock, you can see he's just on the precipice of like, this guy might be real. And they brawl on the outside of the ring. There's the whole controversy. Did they go over the top? It was like one of the first times they actually used that whole thing. Oh, they went through the middle ropes, not the top.
Right.
And they brawl on the outside, and Austin wins. Great Rumble match. I really enjoy this one quite a bit. I know there are people who don't like it, but I think it laid the foundation for some great things ahead. What's your number 2?
Yeah, that just before I get to my number 2, the 98 one I really liked. I really liked that match. I know I got that screwed up earlier because I was thinking in my head the whole time Fake Razor, Fake Diesel was 98, but I know it was 97. I'm glad that I caught that myself. 98 showed us, like you said, The Rock was about to do something. This is right after they did the whole 316 pager and the title in the river and all that kind of stuff. Really, really good. At that point, okay, this is it. These 2 guys are about to go on a tear through this entire company. Stone Cold, you were itching to get it. They kept cutting to Mike Tyson sitting in the top with Shane McMahon. That got me going. That was interesting. Like, oh my God, Mike Tyson standing there. This is huge. Good, big match feeling to it. It was good. It was good stuff. My number 2 is 2001. And I have to say 2001 for this reason. It was the first one where I said, okay, Austin deserved this. He worked this hard to get back. It's kind of like with my Triple H thing. He worked this hard to get back from this injury, and he's in here and he's doing this, and The Rock has held, the title for almost a year, back and forth with Triple H, back and forth. But, man, did Austin deserve this Royal Rumble win. And holy crap, because you and me are huge Kane fans. Kane goes on a freaking tear and sets the record. So he broke Hulk Hogan's 10 elimination record.
Me as a kid.
He sets up this record that doesn't get broken until 2013.
Yeah, this is my number 2 as well. This, to me, truth be told, this is probably my true favorite, but because I'm a respectful wrestling fan of history, I understand things. But 2001, man, because here's what I love about it. And I've mentioned this. I've talked at lengths about Armageddon 2000 with the 6-man Hell in a Cell match where
Say Say before you go on, say this stuff. It's because you were alive for this one.
Well, I was. That helped too.
Yeah,
but you had 5 of 6 guys in that match who were perennial main eventers, and who Rikishi, who they were trying to make one. It's the same thing in this Royal Rumble match, and you have. I mean, you had a feeling that Austin was going to win this thing, but like. It still could have been they could put this title on other guys because you knew they wanted to get The Rock there too.
Yep.
The Rock could have won the Rumble. You know, you knew that Kurt Angle was still hot. You knew that, like you said, Kane, who, you know.
Hottest year. 2001 to 2002. Hottest year for Kane.
Kane in this match is amazing. And he looks like $1 million in this match. And they have the funny Drew Carey spot.
Yeah.
It was our first tease, if I'm not mistaken, of the Hardy Boys facing off with each other.
Yep.
Which was pretty cool that people really liked.
Yep.
Just this is a great Royal Rumble, and I love it. And you throw the hardcore element into it too. It fit so perfectly.
Yeah.
Al Snow takes the bowling ball to the nuts. It's great.
It's a good.
really good Royal Rumble
for past 2000, because I mean we're both of us. Well, you had the 98 one. I wanted to throw the 98 one in. Outside of what our number one's going to be, because like we figured we would have the same one, we picked all 2000 era Royal Rumbles, and that just goes to show there was a lot of stuff in those matches that really made you just get amped up about it. Because freaking A, Kane, that Final Four, you really legitimately said it could be any one of these guys. It could be any one of these guys. And
Kane is in the final too. Kane is in the final.
I'm secretly hoping, like, even though I know, like, Austin's fought back for this, and you know it's probably going to be Austin at WrestleMania because he's fought back super hard, and I want to see that.
The thing that
I thought Kane could pull it out, and Kane might actually be a main eventer after this.
The thing that I hate about it is that their plan was just to put Kane in a stupid hardcore championship match at WrestleMania.
Yep.
And like they made him look really strong for essentially nothing.
I still like that hardcore match, though.
Oh no, it's a fun match where they go off the stage and everything. It's very
they get in a golf cart backstage. Kane,
yeah.
that's one of the best things I've ever seen from Kane is that he gets in a golf cart.
It gave Raven a WrestleMania moment, man.
It did indeed. And John, our number one Royal Rumble of all time is the one that was previously contested for a vacant WWF championship.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened 24 years ago.
Mark Madden says this was one of the most important wrestling events that has happened in the last 30 years.
And there's two names because of that. There's two names that cause him to say that, and it's Hulk Hogan and it's Ric Flair. This should have set up Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair at WrestleMania.
Yes.
It should have. Egos got involved, and it did not happen that way. But we got an excellent Ric Flair versus Macho Man Randy Savage feud. Regardless, 1992 for the WWF Championship, Ric Flair wins the gold and then cuts one of the greatest after-match promos I have ever witnessed in front of my face.
Mm-hmm.
It was also the first year that I really started watching wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of the first things that I saw because I was getting ready to watch WrestleMania, and someone was like, I'm hearing from all my friends, and they were talking about Royal Rumble and all this kind of stuff. My uncle was really talking about it, and I was like, okay, pick a flick video, let's rent this thing. Loved every minute of it. I'm still a big fan of the old school before the match where they get in front of the Royal Rumble sign and they say something. All the entrants say something. You can't really do that now because you have the surprise element. You can do that with a lot of them, but you can't do it with all of them. I'll be happy this year if I get 20 guys telling me why they want to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in the Royal Rumble. I love the pre-match stuff. The match itself, holy crap, amazing talent involved. All like the main golden era people that you wanted to see are in this match. And Flair wins his first WWF championship.
Yep.
Look, what else can you say about it? Greatest Royal Rumble of all time.
First, and was it his only in WWE? Did he have
WWE.
one more?
That's it as far as holding that WWF championship. That's it.
Is that crazy or what? Is that crazy? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy. Hey,
you guys, Wayne Beagle, baby.
You guys should send us your favorite because I'm not even going to speak off that because I'm in delicate all the main points. You have to check it out. It's a cool little finish too. The crowd goes crazy for it.
Yep.
Definitely check it out. Send us your favorites at the LTG Podcast, at Wrestle_React, at John Alba, at Doug O'Mac, at the LTG Podcast, at gmail.com. Hey guys, listen, we really appreciate you guys tuning in as we do every single week here. You can download us on iTunes, on Stitcher, on Podbean, wherever. We really appreciate you sharing the love and tweeting us your thoughts, and finding us on Facebook as well at Wrestle Reaction. Make sure that you are watching Wrestle Reaction every Monday. And if you go to WrestlingRadioAwards.com, Wrestle Reaction is actually up for best internet wrestling show out there with some big names.
Talking's Jericho.
The Taz podcast.
Another wrestling podcast, which is a really big one.
Go do it. Vote for Wrestle Reaction. They deserve it.
It's really funny because none of us had any idea this was even a thing.
Nope.
And then we saw from a link that that got tweeted out that we were nominated, and pretty cool.
Yeah, you should
go vote.
Check that out.
We're honored to be nominated.
Yeah,
because we broadcast this the right way.
Yeah, and everyone, we appreciate you also tuning in for the live show. For those of you who did, we got some great viewership on it, so we are extremely, extremely appreciative of that. And maybe we'll do it again sometime. But don't forget, next Sunday, you want to tune in for Wrestle Prediction, okay? It's happening.
6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 hour, no matter where you are, 1 hour before the WWE kickoff show for the Royal Rumble. We will be here, and JT Pruitt will be here, and hopefully Frank Manzo and or Joe Omega, because I know they'll be watching the Royal Rumble together. Maybe we'll have both those guys. All the Wrestle Reaction talent will be on the show, hopefully. But right now, you can definitely count on John Alba, myself, and JT Pruitt being on that show. And we're going to break down and
glug.
Got a Rumble drinking game coming your way, courtesy of WrestleReaction.net. And, of course, we will break down and predict what we think will happen on the entire card.
Doug, you got anything else for the fine people out there in Radio Land?
Man, my thing is just listen to Tony Schiavone as we get off this thing.
And with that, we bid you adieu.
Hey, Hulk Hogan, you can go to hell. We're out of here. Straight to hell.
And we are out.
Sweet.
Hey, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Tweet us your thoughts on that. Seriously, we want to know. Maybe that's something we'll continue to do in the future. Not full-time, obviously, but something that every now and then we can give you.
Yeah, I mean, the way our schedules are right now, our recording time is usually Saturday morning-ish. Saturday right around noon. So, you know, if we ever have to get where we have to do it at night, we'll take this thing live so you guys can see it because you'll be home. I don't know what your schedules are on Saturday. Maybe you play a sport. Maybe you have kids. I don't know.
Maybe you're on TV. Oh, wait. No, you're not.
No, that's you, and that's why we don't record at night regularly. And I'm at work during the day, which is why we don't record during the day regularly.
That was pretty heel. Come on.
You got it.
That was pretty heel.
You got it. That was a hill.
Yeah, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, as always. Just let us know what you thought, all right? So we're going to end this broadcast now. Thanks a bunch. We'll see you on the flip side, guys.